Hi there, I'm Peter Millard and this is 10-Minute Workshop. Where 10 minutes of that? No, this isn't 10-Minute Workshop, but I am Peter Millard. And Greg from Woodworking UK has asked me to say a few words about making quick videos in the workshop. A little over a year ago, I shot a video on my phone, this phone, about making shaker-style panel doors with loose tenons. That video kicked off a year-long experiment and continuing experiment on YouTube, which became my 10-minute workshop channel. I now use slightly more sophisticated equipment and I've shot and posted over 150 videos since then. But that first one shot on my phone remains one of the most popular, one of my most watched videos. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, the short answer is that gear doesn't matter. What matters is the story you're telling through the video. And I can't wait to see and hear your stories in the run-up to Maker Central. But to get those stories told, you need to start making videos, and I've got a handful of tips that I think may help. So tip number one is to start. Seriously, just start. You probably know the expression analysis paralysis, where you bog yourself down trying to find answers to everything before you start. You know what? I learned far more by doing than I ever learned by analysing. So if you want to finish that video, first you've got to start. And if tip number one is to start, and tip number two is to persevere. It's always weird, and not to say a little nerve-wracking, standing or sitting in your workshop talking to a camera like this, trying to look and sound natural, whatever that is, whilst also thinking about the lighting and your audio and of course the story you're trying to tell. But the beauty of shooting video is that when you get it wrong, and you will, you can just do it again and again and again and again until you get it right. Ooh. So if tip number one is to start and tip number two is to persevere, then tip number three is perspective. In order to do our best work, we need to be a little bit self-critical. Is that good enough? Can I do better? At the same time, we need to remember not to compare our beginnings to somebody else's middle. Because we've got easy access via YouTube and other social media to just about everybody's content, it's really easy to compare ourselves unfavourably to people who've been doing this for years and years and years, or even people who do this for a living. But this is like a school football team comparing themselves to a Premier League side. Now, this doesn't mean that one day we won't be in the Premier League of video producers, just that for now we can accept that we're in the junior leagues. It's the same game but played at a different level, and that's totally fine. So if tip number one is to start, tip number two is to persevere, tip number three was to maintain a sense of perspective. Tip number four is to plan your video. Be clear about what you want to say and how you want to say it. You don't have to write a full script, although you can if that helps. At least get the bullet points down, the specifics that you want to get across in the video. Remember, you're telling a story, and the story is the important part. Everything else is secondary, so get that story written down. So start your videos. Persevere with your videos, maintain a sense of perspective with your videos, plan your videos, and tip number five is to enjoy your videos. Making videos is great fun, but if it becomes a chore or if things aren't going right, then just take a step away, and if you have to come back to it another day when your head's in a better place, then that's what you need to do. That's what I do. I hope you've enjoyed this whistle-stop tour of a handful of quick tips on how I make my YouTube videos. Please do check out my YouTube channel at 10minuteworkshop.tv, and I'll look forward to seeing you there or at Maker Central later in the year. Take care.